Just dropping my daughter Emery off at Dan Leonis's house here in Naples. We hired the world's self-proclaimed best math teacher every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Dan works with Emery for 2 hours straight. He doesn't call it math lessons or math tutoring, he calls it math practice. 2 hours of non-stop practice at the kitchen table. 2 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours non-stop on Friday, plus 2 hours of homework on Monday, 2 hours of homework on Wednesday, 2 hours of homework on Friday. So 12 hours of math practice a week. And Emery has been a student of Dan's for 3 weeks now. And it is insane the amount of progress that she's made. She was at grade 4 and 5 level math by his guesstimation, and by the time we leave here in May, near the end of May, he said he's going to have her at a grade 8 or grade 9 level. I believe it. Great coaches, men, are as rare as hen's teeth. And it's interesting, that could be self-serving because I've been an athletic coach for 19 years. I've coached pro hockey and amateur hockey for 19 years. I've coached everything: skating, tennis, hockey, a little bit of football. Pro hockey is what my career was going to be. And it's interesting because I've got 31 years in the entrepreneurial trenches like you do. So that's a lot of experience with coaches and consultants. But now as a father, it's been even more magnified when I think about, we have piano teachers in our world. We have couple of chess coaches. We have a math coach now. I hired an art coach last night for my daughter. All kinds, you name it. And it's just amazing that good coaches are as rare as hen's teeth. And it's just something that I guess you get accustomed to mediocre and ordinary coaching. And I'm not at all used to it. I'm used to being around the best of the best. When I coached pro hockey, I was around the best hockey coaches on the planet. The mentors that I learned from, the Dan Kennedys, the Tony Robbins, the Tim Grovers, the Jay Abrahams are the best top 1% consultants and coaches in the world. The guys that I learned copywriting from, the David Ogilvies, the Eugene Schwartz, the Gary Halberts, are the best, the most elite of the elite copywriters. So I'm used to top 1% coaching. And it's interesting because it's so hard to find in today's world. And you have to work really hard at attracting them. When you see a coach like Dan Leonis, it's amazing because zero technology for my daughter at the table. It's just pencil and pen and paper, and it's just drill after drill after drill after drill. It's like, okay, 2 plus 2 all the way to 300, and then get to 300, 2s all the way down, 2 minus all the way down to 0. Then she does her 3s, then she does her 4s. He calls it skip counting. Then your 5s, then your 6s, then your 7s, then your 9s. 9, 18, 27, 36, all the way to 300. She writes it down, she says it verbally, and she has to close her eyes and visualize it. So it's mental, it's visual, it's auditory, and it's kinesthetic. In other words, he's one of those top 1% coaches that knows that people learn one of the 3 ways. You either learn by seeing, by hearing, or by doing. But he covers all 3 teaching methods. And it's just amazing to see. There's no iPads, there's no screens, there's no technology. It's just math practice. It's the way I would run a skating clinic. It's the way I would run a tennis lesson. It's the way I would run a hockey practice. Like, you see this, my daughter loves this swing, and it's outside of Dan's home. So we get here a few minutes early, of course, on McLean time. Every day we're here 10 minutes early. So my daughter loves to swing on this swing. It's some fresh air, it's some sunshine. It's a mental break before she heads in for 2 hours of math practice. And it's interesting because she always swings on this, and then Dan opens the door over there and she goes in and does her 2 hours, and I go and work at the pool, doing my writing and my reading. So he comes out the other day and he says, okay, math is going to be outside today. He's a guy like me who believes in movement, doesn't believe in a lot of sitting. He thinks that kids and, well, human beings are too sedentary. The reason that people are so fat and lazy now is because of the sedentary lifestyle, especially since 3 years of the China virus. So they're sitting in there normally for 2 hours, but now Dan has started bringing Emery outside in the sunshine and in the rain and in the heat. And he came out here and he did the skip counts, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, all the way to 300, and then 300 back down. He did them on this swing. And all he would do is when she would swing up like this, it was 2. Then when she'd swing back, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way. And the kid is on the swing and she's saying it and she's visualizing it all the way to 300. She gets to 300 and it's 298, 296, 294. And he had her do her 2, 3, 4, 5 skip count. And then he comes over here to the garage and he's got the ping pong table. He prides himself as a bit of a ping pong savant until I kicked his ass 6 ways to Sunday the other day. He says nobody could beat him in ping pong, so that was a challenge that yours relentless couldn't let go. I love ping pong. I grew up with a ping pong table. So he grabs the paddles and it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way to 300. Then she did it with her 7s, her 8s. It was 7, 14, 21, all the way to 300. Then 300 down back to 0. And if she misses one, they start again. That's my type of coaching. Like, I blow it down if I'm on the ice with the kids. I blow it down. Permanent, perfect practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes permanent. He's the same with numbers. It has to be perfect. If there's a mental error, okay, let's start at 0. If there's a mental error coming down from 300, let's start again. And then he's got a trampoline here on the side of the house. Then they went to the trampoline and it was, okay, we're going to do our 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20 every time she's bouncing, all the way to 300. She gets to 300 and it's 295, 290 all the way down. Talk about mental toughness training. Talk about focus training. Talk about the opposite of what other children are exposed to on tablets and smartphones and magic boards and television and videos and fake Zoom school. The exact opposite. Pens, paper. I even saw him with a whistle around his neck the other day. That brought a lot of joy to yours relentless's heart when I saw my daughter's math teacher with a whistle around his neck. The thing is, even when they're inside for the first hour, like, he's constantly up, walking around, pacing like a great coach. It's like a Mike Krzyzewski in the locker room. It's like a Bobby Knight back in the day. Those guys are restless. Their energy is contagious. Their passion is contagious. They just can't sit still. Great coaches can't sit still. Nick Saban can't sit still. Bill Belichick can't sit still. The great coaches can't sit still. So I'll go in to pick up Emery and she's in there and it's just like, he's over by the fireplace pacing. He's over by the kitchen pacing. He's talking, he's teaching, he's talking, he's teaching. Then he gets down, he does some stretching, and then he's got his little weights there. He does some arm curls and he does some Hindu squats. Just go, go, go. And actually that's making him a better teacher because it's keeping his energy up high. And he just has a passion for teaching. That's the one thing. I said to some of my friends when we got out of university, I said, you know, what the hell are you doing in school teaching? I said, first of all, I said, you don't have an obsession, you don't have a passion, and you don't love kids. And they're like, well, I kind of fell into it. I kind of fell into teaching. You know, it's a secure job. There's a good pension when I'm done. Summer's off and Christmas and all this other stuff. And I'm like, talk about the wrong reason to go into something as important as teaching. I don't care if you're teaching basket weaving or candlestick making or karate or yoga or football or baseball. Man, you gotta have passion. You gotta have obsession. You've gotta have a relentless love for the game that can't be matched. Like, the hours don't matter. All that matters is that you're still involved in the game you love. I got involved in coaching hockey because the guy said to me, he goes, Michael, this is where you get off. You're 20 years old, 19 years old. You can't play for money. You're not good enough to get to the next level. So you either need to coach or referee. That's what he said to me. He said, if you want to stay in this game that you love, at the time was hockey, he says, make your choice, pick your poison. Do you want to be a referee or do you want to be a coach? And I said, I want to be a coach. Next best thing to playing. So that's what happened is I went all in on coaching, but I had that original passion for the game. Same thing for marketing and business. I just have a massive passion and obsession with world building. There's nothing I'd rather do than read about marketing and copywriting and advertising and sales. There's nothing I'd rather do than read and write and go to seminars about business, about making money, about world building. Like, it's all I talk about. It's what gives me goosebumps. Like, my arms, if you want to talk about something that makes the hair stand up on my arms, that gives me the chills, it's like sports and marketing. And I've made that my life. And that way, I don't have to grind through anything. Like, I love putting in the hours as a coach. I love putting in the hours at the rink. I love putting in the hours, writing and designing copy newsletters and facilitating masterminds. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my passion. It's my obsession. It's my calling in life. I ask my mastermind members almost every couple of weeks, I'm like, what's your calling? What's your purpose? Who have you been called to serve? And about 50% of the guys, especially the guys that struggle in their business, they've created a high-paying job for themselves. Even though they're an entrepreneur and they own their own business, what they've really created is just a job. They work for themselves, but like they've built this Frankenstein business, right? And now they're on autopilot. They're a slave to their own creation. They've created maybe a high-paying job, maybe not, and it's a creation that they've made, and now they almost mindlessly go to it every single day. And I'm like, okay, let's shift. What's the purpose? Who have you been called to serve? And make your business about that. What's your purpose? What gives you what gives you goosebumps? What gives you chills? What can you not talk about? If you're at a cookout or a barbecue or you're standing around having a drink with a friend, what can you not talk about? For me, if I'm at a cookout or a barbecue or going for a walk, I can't shut my mouth about marketing and sales and advertising. I can't stop talking about sports. I can't stop talking about, Tom Brady and the NFL and the NHL, and I can't stop talking about spring training and a little bit of tennis and great coaches and college football and on and on. And that's the way it's supposed to be, like answering the question, who have you been called to serve? What's your purpose? And finding a way to make your business about that. That's the thing. Then you don't have a Frankenstein job. Then you don't have a business that you're a slave to. 99% of business owners, they go into business to be their own boss. I call it the be your own boss crowd. And it turns into a toxic situation where, they've just created a job. And they wear what I call the golden handcuffs every day, where no matter what, 7 days a week, every day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, They wear the golden handcuffs. They wear the golden handcuffs, and they're trapped inside their job. They feel like they're a slave. They are a slave, and they've created this Frankenstein business in life. And that's what I teach my world builders and my newsletter subscribers, is how to untangle themselves, how to hand them the key to get out of that God-forsaken prison. You know, they made something that they didn't want. They went into business for freedom. They went into business for autonomy. They went into business for independence and wealth and personal sovereignty. They went into business so they could live life and do business on their own terms. And they have none of that. They have none of that. They have no freedom. They have no control. They have no independence. They have zero autonomy. And it's all because they built this Frankenstein business that revolves around them. And that's what I teach in my book. That's what I teach in my monthly newsletter. That's what I teach in my weekly telegrams. And that's what I teach in my 2 masterminds, is how to untangle yourself from that Frankenstein business, that death dealing 70 hours, 80 hours, even 90 hours a week, where you're never, ever, ever free. And doing the opposite and just redesigning your business, okay? Redesigning your business around your life, not your life around your business. 99% of ordinary businessmen average, I call it the quiet desperation crowd. What are they doing? Their entire life revolves around their business. What I teach through world building is the exact opposite, that you build your business around your life. You want to work, you work. You don't want to work, you don't work. You want to take half a day off, you take half a day off. You want to move to a different country, you want to rent a house on the beach, you want to go watch the Masters in Augusta. You make money when you sleep, you make money when you work, you make money around the clock. You're making your business work for you. You're building your business around your life. Such a huge, huge thing. This week, I'm really been encouraging you to send me a fax number so that I can add you to my private confidential fax list. Do you understand how powerful my fax list is? I know it sounds crazy. Who the hell faxes? Well, there's about 20 million fax machines in America right now. So dentists, doctors, insurance agents, consultants, coaches, sports teams, everybody and anybody has a fax machine. You've just been told by the 99% tomato cans that it doesn't exist anymore, but there's over 20 million fax machines operational now in the US and many millions in Canada. So what is my private fax list? What it is I send some of my very best marketing, my very best advertising, my very best sales, my promotions, anything and everything that I'm reading and studying and I've used. I send it out by fax, sometimes once a week. It's 95% meat and potatoes. I may pitch in there my newsletter, I may pitch in there my new book, I may pitch in there to subscribe to this, but it's 95% content and it's free to be on the list. So usually on a Friday or sometimes on a Tuesday, I'll just fax a great marketing idea, something I'm testing, advertising, maybe it's one of my sales scripts, maybe it's a help wanted ad, but it's something that I don't want online. It's something confidential that I don't trust around big tech. I'm not gonna send you the best stuff ever in a video. I'm never ever gonna send you my best stuff through an email. I'm never ever gonna send you my best marketing and advertising and business information. I'm never ever gonna send it online. So that's a big loss for you. If you're watching videos and emails, that's great. And you're going to websites and stuff, that's great. But my very best stuff, I send off the grid. I'm gonna say that again. I send my most powerful marketing ideas, world building ideas, off the grid. And how do I do that? I send them by fax if you're on my list. I send them by physical telegram to my Diamond members. Every single week I send a telegram by mail, my physical newsletter, badassletter.com, and of course my training with my Masterminds, which is through a private, nothing to do with high tech. I do my Mastermind trainings, but even with my Mastermind members, I send them physical documents. I send them books, I send them articles, I send them paper and ink. And I just refuse to send my best material online. I don't like big tech. I don't trust email. I don't trust websites. I don't trust YouTube. So what I do is I send some of my very best free materials weekly by fax. So reply to this email and send Leanne your fax. Just reply, send her the fax number. If you don't have a fax, get with it. Get with the game. There's a simple software. There's thousands of the one we use is called MFax. I don't even know what that means, but Marc Andre found it, and it's a fax software that you can buy. It's for peanuts, and you can buy it, and it allows you to receive a fax through your email box. So you don't even need a fax machine anymore. It's and the link to that's below. That way you don't miss out on my weekly faxes. So you can still get my best stuff off the grid by fax, and it'll come in your email box, and maybe you can print it off or read it through your email. But I'm telling you right now, I'm anti-big tech. I'm anti anything to do with on the grid. I don't trust it. I don't believe in it. I don't have confidence in it. So consequently, I send my best stuff off the grid. And one of my medias that I use a ton is my free private fax number. So reply with your fax number. You'll be at it. It's free. It's 95% meat and potatoes content. I don't do it to sell anything. I don't care if you buy anything or do buy something. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's not going to change my life at this point. But email your fax to leanne@badassmillionaire.com, or simply reply to this. On the links below also are there below this video, and you can buy the MFax software below. Best investment you're going to make this year. Peanuts to receive my fax each and every week. That's it. Join my list. Get in the know. Get off the grid and start receiving my best marketing and advertising and world building ideas by fax, which I trust, and therefore I send my most confidential information. You're either on that list or you're the odd man out. So make sure you get my inside information by fax by joining my list below. That's it. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.